A state of emergency has been declared in California because more than 100,000 gallons of oil leaked from a burst pipeline. About 20,000 of those gallons reached the coastline, and you can see the mess that it's created. Joining us now, Senator John Thune, Republican from South Dakota. Senator, you are a big supporter of the Keystone pipeline, an oil pipeline. Do you think you've suffered any kind of setback for the whole idea of oil pipelines because of what's happened in California?
Look, Stuart, any pipeline spill is a bad story and bad news. But pipelines remain the safest way to transport oil. And the Keystone pipeline, for example, according to the State Department, was considered to be one of the safest in the country. And I think that the argument for the Keystone pipeline, the merits in favor of the Keystone pipeline are there. And, obviously we've got to take care of this incident in California, make sure it gets cleaned up appropriately. But there are literally millions of miles of pipeline, natural gas and oil pipelines in this country that operate safely every single day. And the Keystone pipeline has met very rigorous standards, not only federal regulations, but also submitted to 57 some state regulations. And so we think that project ought to proceed. If it doesn't come through the United States, they're going to take it someplace else.
As I understand it, has the trade legislation just passed the Senate, and I think you approve of that?
I do. I think that the trade bill, and we did get an important procedural vote this morning and what they call cloture. We won't have a final vote on it until later on, but this was significant because trade is incredibly important to our economy. Since 2009, we've created 2.1 million export-related jobs in this country. In the manufacturing sector, those jobs pay, on average, 13% to 18% more. So the statistics suggest that it's really important that we be a part economically of trade, and there are 260 trade agreements around the world today. The United States is a party to only 14 of those. So every day that passes and we miss out on being a part of these agreements, it's an opportunity we miss to grow our economy and to create jobs. And the other thing I think that's really important about this, Stuart, is it's not only economically important, it's really important from a security standpoint too. Particularly Asia, you look at China's influence there. A good counterweight to China can be Japan, Singapore, countries that would be a party of this, and it's important that the United States have a presence and play a leadership role in that region of the world. And so getting the Trade Promotion Authority through enables us to move forward with these trade agreements, and that's why this vote is so important.
So fast track is on track. You approve of it, and it passed a procedural motion in the Senate today. I think we got it. It's complicated stuff, but it's never really properly explained as a job creator and a security provider. It's just not been well put forward, I don't think. That would be my opinion.
Well, I think you're right about that, and unfortunately everybody needs to do a better job of talking about how this is something that's important to growing our economy, creating jobs, good paying jobs here, as well as asserting America's strategic importance around the world. And from a security and stability standpoint in many of these regions, the United States needs to be an active player, not just on a military level, but in a diplomatic and an economic role as well.
We'll have to bring on Donald Trump, see what he's got to say about this. I think you and he might have a disagreement. I'm not sure.
He may have a different opinion.
I think he will. John Thune, South Dakota Republican. Thanks for joining us, Senator. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Stuart. You bet.